Nate O'Brien is literally the most down-to-earth and go-with-the-flow guy I've ever watched on YouTube. But he has his shit together, which makes him such an interesting person. He predominantly makes finance and lifestyle videos on YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reece, and in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to a video by Nate O'Brien. For those of you who don't know who Nate is, he is a predominantly lifestyle / finance YouTuber who has been consistently posting to the platform for a couple of years now. The video I'm going to be reacting to today is called How I Plan to Make $1 Million in the Year of 2021. And that's pretty much it. Let's jump into it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm gonna break down my projected income or revenue for 2021, sort of my strategy, what I'm doing, and hopefully this video can be of some value to you. I don't want this video to come off as if like I'm gloating or bragging in any way, but it's more so to just kind of break down what it is that I'm doing. As you know, this channel is about personal finance. We talk about business. And so I just thought it was appropriate to sort of be transparent with you on what I'm doing with this personal brand and kind of how we're getting to that $1 million mark for 2021. So if you like videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And you can also drop a like on the video. It'd make my day. So thank you. And let's get started here.
Perfect intro, straight into it, straight to the point. Let's go.
Now, really, primarily for the most part, all of this $1 million is going to come from my trust fund, which kicks in next year.
And he has a sense of humor. Love it. My kind of humor. Very dry, but very funny.
God, I'm sorry, I'm cracking myself up. This isn't funny. I don't have a trust fund. I guess it would have been nice, but nobody ever thought of that for me. So
I definitely thought that was funny. That was definitely funny.
But there's really 4 different sources that this is coming from to get to that mark. I really think it's pretty feasible. And like I said, I'm probably gonna say this like 5 times, but I just wanna be careful with this video because I don't want it to come off as like, look at me, like, you know, or some type of thing like that. And of course, I'm not selling you anything, so it's not gonna be like me going through talking about making money and then at the end just stuffing some course down your throat they have to pay $1,000 for and probably never make your money back on it. That's not the purpose of this. I don't sell anything, okay? So maybe you saw my retirement video about a couple months ago. I made a video about my plan to retire at 24. It kind of lines up with that. So if you haven't seen that video yet, you'll probably want to watch it afterwards to see kind of where this all lines up and why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing. But basically trying to make a few $1 million in a very short period of time and then sort of be able to coast or try to basically just cruise through the rest of my life without having to worry about, you know, how I'm going to put food on the table. And that's basically the plan. You know, I'm sure it'll go wrong at some point, but that's basically the plan for now, okay?
He's like me. He wants to provide a lot of information very quickly, and he does get into the guts of it as we get through the video, but definitely still important information because it sets the scene and it actually puts us in a position where we can understand where he's coming from and the kind of message he's trying to convey.
So I also want to mention just before we start with talking about these 4 different revenue sources and projections and also looking at 2020 numbers, but I also just want to say quickly that I'm really not very smart. Like if you look at my grades in school and my SATs and everything else. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I just want to make it very clear that I think it's very possible for anybody to do something like what I've been doing in just the past couple of years. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be very smart. I mean, like I said, I'm really not that smart. I don't think I'm stupid. So I just wanted to say that as well, because sometimes we think, oh, you know, this is not very possible, but it very much is.
Without even giving me any context whatsoever, I can already tell that he's just like me, because realistically, I'm in the exact same boat, and most people are. It's completely possible, and yes, $1 million might be a big grab to begin with, but it's something that you can definitely work towards, something that I myself am working towards. It might not be a particular goal, but it's something that I can foresee potentially becoming a real opportunity to achieve in the future. So I like how he set the scene and said, I'm nothing special, and this is a goal that I'm working towards achieving, and I have worked hard to get to this point that I may actually achieve it in the year of 2021.
Okay, so let's talk about these different sources of revenue. And the first one, to maybe surprising to some, but maybe not so much to others, is actually YouTube ad revenue from this channel, which has gotten kind of wild in the past couple of years. And this is because ad rates on YouTube for the finance niche have sort of exploded in terms of value from the ad rates, okay? So I'll break this down as easy as possible, but basically from this channel, I'll pull up some of my ads from this year. But you can see that in the past 365 days, my average CPM was about $25.18. And if we go to, let's say just the month of October, my ad rates look like they were, hold on. My ad rates look like they were about $33.09 per 1,000 views that you earn from YouTube, right?
The fact that he is making tens of thousands of dollars each month is just mind-boggling. He is younger than me, which isn't really a factor in this argument. It's just the fact that he's kind of started his YouTube channel, built up over time, and actually grown to a crazy number. And he's now at the point where I could survive off of a quarter of that very comfortably. I think most people could. That would allow me to quit my full-time job because it would still pay more than that. And it's not necessarily about the life of being able to do what you want. Realistically, he would be working just as hard, if not harder than I am in my actual job to make these videos and pump out quality videos. But the point here is that there's some serious money to be made on the platform of YouTube. He's showing that and he's very humble to be achieving that. But it's just crazy that how big and how much opportunity has been created for people to actually make interesting content and actually profit from it to the point where they literally can earn a salary, quit their jobs and do this full time, to the point where Nate's at now, where he's making a lot more money than he needs to be making each year from ad revenue, which is his, like he said, first income source. To me, it's just crazy, but it's exciting as well. And I really wanted to hone in on this one in particular because $33 per 1,000 views for someone who has almost 1 million subscribers is going to make a crap ton of money, which he's going to show us as we're watching. Let's continue.
Now, this is not the whole picture. YouTube does take a cut of this, and then also Uncle Sam takes a cut of this as well for taxes. So this isn't all the money that you end up with at the end of the day to go spend, but it is considerably higher than I think what people would assume people might make on YouTube.
And he just said it. People don't actually understand how much money there is to be made on YouTube. Yes, YouTube may take a cut, which is pretty much half of what they earn. But even if we halved that $31,000 that's on the screen right now, realistically, that's more than enough money to survive. That's probably triple what I'm earning comfortably that he's taking home just from YouTube ads. It's unbelievable to me. It truly is unbelievable to me.
There's two reasons for this. One, because most YouTubers just kind of downplay how much they make, especially like the big people like Shane Dawson and David Dobrik, and everybody just talk about how they're poor. I guarantee they're making millions of dollars. But also because ad rates in the past, they have been low, but now they are much higher because we're in 2020 or we're going into 2021 here. And so historically, you know, people just think YouTube, you make $1 per 1,000 views on YouTube. Yes, that's probably what people made in 2010, but that's not what is occurring going into the 2020s here, 2021, 2022. That's not what is occurring because companies are dumping billions of dollars into YouTube ads now.
And this is super exciting. Why? Because it means that there will be new people coming to the platform, and with these billions of dollars being dumped into it, lots of people will be able to provide information, knowledge, and basically create a second job, if not a new first job for themselves in the format of basically giving people information that is valuable. I have used YouTube for so many different valuable learning points in my entire life, whether it be with finance or just learning simple tricks around the house. I could go into many categories, but the point is that this is a good thing. What he's saying is basically the piece of pie that each person is going to get bigger as more people come onto the platform. It should significantly drop, but no one needs $31,000 a month. That is a ridiculous there's a ridiculous amount of money. I'm just kind of shocked at how much it is, but it's good to see it. I wonder if I'll ever get there. We'll find out. Let's keep going.
And so because I talk about finance, and if this sounds a little bit too good to be true, you can go and just look at some other finance YouTubers, and it's not like we're all in on this like faking everybody out. There's probably almost thousands of finance YouTubers now that you can look up and see their ad rates, and you can see that a lot of them, their average CPMs are somewhere between $20 and $40 per 1,000 views, which basically means that for 1 million views, you're getting maybe about $30,000 because it's very focused on finance. finance. You know, if you're talking about minimalism, for example, I have videos about minimalism that I make about $8 per 1,000 views because no company wants to run an ad on my video where I talk about minimalism and not buying anything. Companies don't want to run ads on that. And so that's something that's important to notice here.
And that's another good point, is that not every genre is going to have just ridiculous amounts of advertisers paying for whatever content they're making. And yes, this is still a very competitive platform. My CPM at the moment is 0. I do not make any money from the channel as of the time of recording this video. And that's fine. I really enjoy making this content. But with that being said, there are other genres with people who have millions of subscribers who probably aren't making all that much money. And you might notice some people have tended to fall off. I don't know if you know of any in particular. Leave a comment down below if you can think of any off the top of your head, but it's still a very competitive environment and not everyone is going to succeed, which it depends on what you're using your YouTube channel for, I guess, and it depends on what you're posting content for. But for me, I enjoy doing this. I have no problem with it. For him, it's worked out really well. I'm kind of happy for him because I like the content he pushes out and I like the message that he pushes out in his videos.
So overall, you know, we can look at a couple of months here. You can see in October it was about $31,000. In September it was, let's see, about $44,000 in total revenue. That's also including some sponsored deals that were through Brand Connect. I can't really talk about the specifics of those for some pretty obvious reasons. Signed a lot of contracts there. But yes, anywhere between like $30,000 and $45,000 per month is what the ad revenue has been from this channel. I know it sounds weird, but yeah, you can just go verify that with like any other finance YouTuber. So assuming that I can keep the revenue numbers relatively similar for 2021 as they were in 2020, I'm thinking that ad revenue should be about $500,000. I don't like to rely upon it because honestly, I'm on rented land here. I mean, YouTube one day could say, Nate, we don't like you anymore, we're taking your channel away. Or they could say, you know what, we're not gonna run ads on your video anymore. I saw Nelk made like 23 cents in YouTube ads from millions of views because nobody wanted to run ads on their videos because they weren't suitable for advertisers. Okay,
$500,000, $500,000 from ad revenue. He posts 1 to 2 videos a week, if not less. Might be 1 a month at the moment. I should probably check that. But it's not a lot of posting. He's grown his brand and built his brand to the point that he's making $500,000. He can do whatever he wants. Realistically, the videos are there forever. It's free advertisement for whatever advertisers he's taken on board. Every time you click on one of them and you watch 15 seconds, he's getting a view. It's very impressive. I think it's very impressive. He's someone who is a young person who might not be the smartest person in the room, but he has definitely done very well to build this brand and is reflecting in the numbers. He's showing us, he's actually putting it out on the table. He's not really hiding anything from what you can tell. It's very impressive.
And also there was something like the Adpocalypse back in 2017. I remember this. I was just starting my channel at the time where companies pulled all of their ads from YouTube and ad rates plummeted. And so I can't really rely on ads on YouTube. It's very fluctuating. I mean, some months it'll be much higher than others. And it's not a steady source of income for most YouTubers going into the future. So probably, hopefully about $500,000, assuming that I can sort of scale up a little bit more, keep it going, kind of keep it at the consistent growth that we've had over the past couple of years.
And that's good as well. He's aware that he shouldn't rely on this single source of income. Like lots of other YouTubers have said before, that you should diversify and you should find other revenue streams, which he's about to take us through. But it's another very important one, is just because everything's great right now doesn't mean things can't change in the future. This can be applied to almost anything, even in your own job. Just like coronavirus hit and basically lots of different jobs boomed and lots of them really suffered, where people struggled to basically make ends meet because they weren't prepared for an event like this. Yes, it's hard to prepare. Yes, it's hard to have that foresight. But if you can start thinking about these types of things now and even potentially put a small action plan in place, and just the main thing here is don't be naive and think that you're solid no matter what, because anything can happen.
So the next source of projected revenue for next year will be from sponsorships. So in 2020, I only did about maybe 4 or 5 sponsored videos in total over the course of the year. That's because I just don't like to do too many of them. I think it can get watered down. And also, I'm not gonna promote a company that I don't actually use myself and that I don't actually find value in it, because I just think that would be bad for the brand. Sometimes I see influencers doing that where they're like stuffing like some like CBD oils down your throat throat and they're just like, you need to buy this CBD or this protein powder or something, when they probably don't even use it themselves. I think the viewer can really see through that. So I don't really do a lot of sponsorships.
This is one thing I truly, really appreciate about Nate and also another YouTuber I watch, Andre Jick. I really like the fact that they only do sponsorships if they believe in the product, if they believe in the brand. It's something that I would like to be held accountable to if I ever do fall into this space and ever get lucky enough to actually have a sponsor, which at the moment I do not. But regardless, it's something that I hone in on with specific YouTubers. When I'm watching them, I'm very careful with who I watch and what I listen to and what I actually put into action. And Nate is someone who is just a guy who is doing his thing and he's projecting it to the world. He doesn't need a cash grab to basically survive. He's already making ends meet. He's happy with what he's making, and therefore the content that he's putting out is true, in line with his passion. And I love that.
But also going back to the idea of how YouTubers or influencers are poor, I really don't know where this narrative came from, but I can tell you that if somebody has 100,000 followers on Instagram, they can probably be getting $5,000 or more for an Instagram post.
I can definitely agree with this one. I know someone who runs a small business, which I have not mentioned at all ever, and I may in the future, but he's a close friend of mine. He has been running a very successful business for a while, and he's someone who actually pays Instagram influencers to post with the product. You probably have seen it or seen ads running for their product, but the point here is that those numbers are probably even low at the moment. For high-ranking Instagrammers or Instagrammers with high amounts of followers, they are definitely pulling in a lot of money, more than enough to not have to work a 9-to-5 job. And it's not as simple as posting a picture and it just being there forever. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but it definitely, I just want to hone in on this to people who are unaware, there is a whole world around social media and how much money these people on these platforms are making. It's frightening because the lifestyle they live, it's hard to tell if they enjoy it or not, but they are definitely making money from it. The big ones are anyway.
And that's not a joke. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I personally wouldn't touch anything less than that. And I know a lot of other people who wouldn't touch anything less than that either. And it's just based off of the amount of money that companies are willing to pay. And I can just tell you that so many influencers, even today, if you're an influencer and you're watching this, people are undercharging. They're getting like $300 for an Instagram post when they can get many, many thousands of dollars. And that goes with YouTube videos as well. 5 figures, multiple 5 figures for a sponsored video. That's just the world that we live in today. I mean, if people know what they're doing, that's what they'll be getting. And that's that.
And there you go. He just said it for me. He said it in a better way than I wanted to say it. But the point is yeah, people undervalue themselves because why would an advertiser pay you thousands of dollars to promote a product? Seems a little bit crazy, seems a little bit backwards, but it's true. And I've seen it in work and to me, it's still mind-boggling, but now I'm aware of it. So another thing, it might not be applicable to everyone, but it's definitely interesting. And it's kind of scary to see how this has developed over time because like he says, 10 years ago, people would look at it as like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to put money into that. There's a waste of money. Whereas now it's a full-on fledged business where people are making livings from posting pictures of them holding a piece of plastic in their hands. It's so cool, but also so scary. I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, so yeah, overall sponsorships should make up hopefully about $250,000 or more for 2021. It really depends on how much of them I do in the year, but I'm probably not going to do too many, maybe just a handful, and we should get to around, hopefully, that $250,000 mark. We'll see how many we need to do for that.
I wish I could be as indecisive as him. He might do a sponsorship for $250,000 or might do a few sponsorships to add up to $250,000. I wish I could be like, yeah, maybe I'll think about making $250,000 through some people who want to sponsor me for videos. I know he knows that that's awesome, but am I frustrated? I enjoy this content. I'm so confused.
And then on top of that, there's 2 other revenue sources here. One of them is hopefully from some type of physical product. You know that I don't sell online courses. I know people who make millions from that. I'm just a believer in free information. But I do think some type of physical product would be great to add to the arsenal as well. So if we could find a way, hopefully I'm going to find a way to create some type of physical product that really aligns with my brand. So some type of journal or budget planner or something in between. I think would be really great to be able to offer to the viewers here on this channel. Let me know your thoughts down below as well if you have any ideas of a physical product that I could sell. And I think this is a great strategy for influencers as well, to sort of be able to branch off and have like separate sub-brands. I know Peter McKinnon did that with like a backpack brand. And Graham Stephan was just talking about potentially starting some type of coffee brand for his personal brand, that he can create a sub-brand. And I think this is a really good route to take, because eventually people aren't going to care about what I have to say. Nobody's going to know who Nate O'Brien is. I'm going to be washed up. There's going to be a lot of other people who come along and just make way better videos, way better content. And so you can't really rely on a personal brand forever unless you're really, really diligent about it, but it's going to be difficult to do that. So that's why it's important to create some separate sub-brands. So if I create like a budget planner brand, and then I can build that up, and then I can sell that, or I can run that without me having to be the face of it, that's kind of the strategy there. So hopefully we can maybe make a couple $100,000 in 2021 from that. I think it's very possible, very feasible, based off of some of the numbers that I've been talking with some other people who have rolled out physical products.
That was definitely a big chunk, a lot to take in a very short period of time without me jumping in. I didn't want to jump in because it's all relevant. The main key takeaway from this is that something that I am kind of grappling with myself is that how do I create a product from my knowledge with personal finance, or with anything really? It's just like, how much do you know about something? How good are you at it? And how can you monetize it? Realistically, I'm sure that I have information that is valuable to others. Maybe not everyone, maybe not even yourself, but there definitely will be people that I would be able to assist in their journey through a product. It might be a 10-page worksheet that each step has steps you can take to better your financial position. Just like he's talking about here, he might make a course. This is something that, again, I would encourage you to think about. What are you good at? What are you really good at? Could you monetize it through the form of a product? Could you advertise it through something like a YouTube channel? Who knows? But definitely think about it. The fact that he's saying, oh yeah, I might casually make a course to help people with their finances and make a few $100,000 from it. Again, that is scary. He's a young dude who has some experience, which I guarantee the product he makes will probably make money. This channel isn't about making lots of money. It's about being informed and understanding what you can do with your knowledge. I'm trying to give you the tools. So think about it, because I myself am in the same boat. I am thinking about it. Watching this video wasn't the first time I thought about it, but it was something that motivated me to think about it.
And now there's really only one other source of income that's going to align with this personal brand, and that is from affiliates. So for example, if you click on the links below and maybe you open up an account with Robinhood, which is one of the affiliates that I have for my channel, then they end up paying me for basically giving them a new customer, a new client, and they end up paying me. I can't talk about how much they pay me, but overall, from affiliates, with affiliates combined with sponsors, combined with physical product, combined with ads, should bring me well over the $1 million mark for 2021. Now, of course, that's not including taxes. So taxes are going to take out close to half, and then you walk away with still a decent amount. But there is a difference between income and wealth. I just do want to verify that as well. But overall, yeah, that's my plan. I just wanted to be transparent about this. Like I said before too, I really think that following the money too much ends up just throwing people off. And so my goals are never money oriented. It's more so like this byproduct of getting views or getting exposure. It's sort of like this positive externality from whatever it is that I do. And it's sort of like this little bonus, this cherry on top thing, rather than like the sole purpose of just making money. Because I don't think you would get very far with that idea, or at least I just wouldn't sleep well at night if that was like my primary focus of just like making money off of people.
And that's why I love him so much, because he is fully transparent. He is a guy who is now at the point that he doesn't need to chase the money. He makes more than enough money to do this just from his own perspective. And it's so good to see, and it's so refreshing to see someone who's doing it because they enjoy it. Kind of like myself. I really enjoy doing this. I'm not chasing money, like I said earlier, just like him. And from that, he creates byproducts and content which is enjoyable to watch, which then the biggest byproduct is money. It's like the money chases his attention. The attention that he is putting into these videos, the detail he's putting into these videos, it's nothing special. It's him sitting on a couch just having a conversation, just like me here reacting in my office. But it's very important to understand that his end goal is to create good content for people because he enjoys doing it. It's not about the money. The money is the thing that allows him to do it, and money has come over time because he's worked very hard to achieve it. So good on you, Nate. that's why I wanted to react to you today.
So I briefly want to talk about luck versus skill, because I honestly think that probably anything that I'm doing right now is probably 90% luck, 10% skill. Maybe if I want to be nice, I can say 80% luck, 20% skill. But what I mean by this is that I think with this channel, with this personal brand, I got really lucky that I stumbled into it at a time when there weren't any finance videos. So right now, my channel's sort of at like the maturity level. I've been making videos for like 3.5 years, but there were like 4 people making finance videos when I started. So I got really lucky that I was early to it, and there's always going to be things that you can be early to as well, and that's kind of the idea that I wanted to drive across here, that sometimes the stars will align and you'll find this opportunity, and I still think there's a lot of opportunity for creating finance videos. It's still at a relatively early phase, even though it's been about 3 years into this finance YouTube phase that there's probably a couple thousand finance YouTubers now. I still think there's a lot of room for a lot more people. So if you want to start a channel, I would recommend doing it for 2021.
I'm glad to hear that there's room. That definitely settles my stomach a little bit, because this is something that I really enjoy doing, and it's good to hear that he sees the potential for more people to join the platform. Yes, he may have been very lucky and hit the top right from the bat. He may not have had to work as hard as some of the other people who are on the platform, but he still is putting in the hours, he is still putting in the hard work, and he is achieving from it, which is great to see. So again, good on you, Nate. With that being said, I have left a link down in the description below to both Nate's video and his channel, so go show him some love for sure. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help the channel grow. And please leave a comment down below on any YouTubers or videos that you would like me to react to in the future. These are a lot of fun to put together. I'll leave it at that. Make sure you have yourself a great day, and I will see you in the next video.